Hi everyone, so today we're going to do a bit of an analysis video and we're going to see how far my jiu-jitsu has come. I've got an old file here, I don't know, it'd be like 6 or 7 years old, back when I was a purple belt. Bear in mind, I have been training for a long time. I've like the slowest progression to black belt in history. Australian black belt, and it took me over 20 years to get my black belt. I only got it about a year ago. So long story, a lot of gyms, a lot of changes, having kids, all those interruptions happened there. We'll have a look at this and kind of see how far I've come, see how far jiu-jitsu has come. So here's a roll. This guy here is my brother-in-law. He's a French guy, lovely guy. And we're at about the same age. We'll be late 40s here. He's a one-stripe white belt. I've got a very crisp looking purple belt. It might even be longer than 7 years ago. And this is a great gym I used to train at in Sydney called Legacy. They've moved from this building since then. So I left on very good terms with this gym because it just came down to practicality. So I must have conned him into saying, let's get this on camera. So eventually I just go, okay, I'm going to sit down, which is really not my game. And this is kind of an era where gi jiu-jitsu was the thing. Now we're in an era where, you know, this is like Baron Bolos. This is all it was about. Now we're into a kind of a no-gi era. A lot of people come into the sport, love no-gi. You've got Gordon Ryan now, Mikey Musumeci, Rotolo brothers, all those really top-level guys. Craig Jones. I'm trying to think about the guy from Daisy Fresh, Jacob Couch. There's so many, you know, Isaac Mitchell, so many good players, no-gi right now. And also there's wrestling. So over the years since I had this role, the wrestling and all that's come into play. And so pretty much here, I'm just being pretty conservative. I don't want to beat anyone up. Gilles kind of strong. Didn't have much technique. I think he'd done some martial arts beforehand. But we used to train at lunchtime. I'm pretty sure this is a lunchtime class. And I've just gone completely old school, sat down on my back. It's pure laziness having your head on the back like that. But I do somehow roll him. I think I trapped an arm, roll him over there. So he's tried to escape from the guard. And quite often you'll find with white belts is they're kind of panicking and struggling and trying to exert force, just trying to muscle it. And in those cases, you're just always measuring someone's balance, where the center of gravity is. And just wait for that moment. So him being a one-stripe white belt, I would give him probably 3 or 4 months training at this point. So now he's in the vulnerable position. He's putting his arms out. Now he's kind of just trying to force in the worst possible way by extending his arms, giving me his arms right there. And I still would do the same thing today, is grab that arm. Anyone's going to extend their arm like that, they're giving you their arm. And, you know, he probably's done a few classes where he knew how to escape from mount. But he didn't use his skills in that particular case, so now he's just defending the arm. There's multiple ways you can grab that arm from here, I guess. But usually I try and peel like a blade my fingers and peel their hand off. There is another method where you get a really strange grip on your own hands and you manipulate it that way. We're all wrapped up here. I'm just being patient, basically. I don't want to muscle it. I think in this position here, much better going for technique instead, and just letting them wear out. And you can see he's slowly, and I've got the full arm extension taps. So there really wasn't much to that. I just countered him with I didn't even counter him, I just waited him to lose his balance and bumped him over. So we go for a reset here. Oh, nice one, Gilles. So he tries to basically sweep me over his head there. And we're in a kind of half guard thing here. I'm being a smart ass looking at the camera. I think I'd do that today. And you can see in the background we had a boxing ring. This is what I like about Legacy too. They had, you know, you could come here and you could do some Muay Thai. They had some Kung Fu people in there as well. They had CrossFit in the beginning as well. They had a whole CrossFit set up in this building. So there I am, just grabbing putting my wrist on his knee, extracting my leg, controlling his upper body. Head arm choke, head arm triangles has always been a staple of my jiu-jitsu game. And now he's trying to push me away. Just staying tight here. I mean, I don't think I'm doing that much differently. Now I'm sort of faking this attack. I don't know, like an Americana setup, but that's really just a distraction. His other arms there could gift wrap it, but I'm staying tight behind him. I've got my hips behind him. Good one. He turns into me, turns the right way. That was very good. Now he's trying to create space. And I mean, I have to give to Gilles because I don't usually play bot. I've never really liked playing bot, especially in gi. You know, there's guys who just know much more than me about it, and I'm average at it. So then I like Toriander pass. Now I'm on the side again. I'm being a smart ass and looking at the camera again. I've grown up a bit since then. Look at the two guys in the background sparring. They are trying to punch each other's lights out. Okay. Roll him out. Don't know what happened there. He might have given me the tap. And we have a little... So there you go. There's one. And then we do have another wrestle. This might have been a different day. Or later session that day. Looks like the same people are there. Gilles being more aggressive this time. He's going for the leg trip. Yeah, he's pushing. He's much more aggressive this time, which is good. He's changed his strategy. Now he's mirroring me. And yeah, it's completely different. He's not as passive. I don't know if it's the same day even. Once again, I lay on my back. I mean, I don't want to insult the guy, but I'm just trying to create a way for him to come to me, bring it to the floor, or it could be just because the camera's there and I want to keep my head in the frame. So here I'm just being a total smart ass. I was flat on my back. I must have got that off the Nick Diaz fight when he did that to who was it with? So Anderson Silva. Okay, I'm playing leg defense here. He passes me. He actually did quite well, and he used the move I moved on him. So then I've just gone, grabbed a leg, and now I'm going to move into lockdown. I must say, I did overplay lockdown for a long time there, but it's just a great way to immobilize people. It pisses off Berimbolo players. So I've got his leg locked down. So you can swing your legs like I am now and roll the guy from there, but if they're too stable, you can trap an arm. So, but he's escaping. It's easy to maintain the lockdown, especially in gi, and sometimes you can extend the leg like that and get a submission. Now I'm using it to sweep. You can also grab his other leg and lift it up over your shoulder and get the electric chair. But Gilles pretty strong, so he knows something's up and it's not ideal, but sometimes you can get a tap from just extending your legs and elevating them in the lockdown, but it just buys you time, especially if the guy's bigger and stronger and doesn't know this. If you back straight out of this, if Gilles backs straight out of this, you can lock my leg and do a counter attack. But you can also get your right leg if you're him and then put it underneath my legs and elevate and kind of unlock the lockdown. But I've got him trapped here. It's a bit boring. Some people get frustrated with it. It pisses off Berimbolo players, and that's the main thing I used to love to do then, was just not let them do this stupid Berimbolo roll. Because I find guys with really long legs a lot of trouble. Generally, I can defend my back quite well, but if they got longer legs, I got a mate who's very good at that game. So yeah, just locked down here. Now, finally, I think I've got the electric chair here. That's what I was fighting for all that time. He can't see it. Boom. Now I'm being all smug at the camera. And now I've got his back again. Now he's checking his leg. His hairy French legs. Sorry, Gilles. But, you know, I have to hand it to him. He didn't know any jiu-jitsu. came here, and you're always going to have a bit of a rivalry with your brother-in-law. So for him to come in and have a go, and he's living back in France now, and as I said, I've changed. Now I did a sneak attack there, like a possum attack in the forest. That was a good one. And I think we weigh about the same, and he's pretty strong. We're about the same size overall, but he's defending with the wrong leg there. Should have the other leg up, because I could just put my knee on his stomach. Just staying tight here. I mean, really, with a lot of this, I just wouldn't do any of it differently. Big, strong guy, immobilizing their upper body. Once again, going for the armbar. And we're going back to the original move. And you'll find that people don't know a lot. You end up taking the same path. Sometimes I will change it. I try and submit. So it's more of a lesson for me to try and submit them with something else. But here I just went for the cheap armbar again. Got him again. And then I had the electric chair. I was doing that all the time. It's a bit of a showy move. So here we go. Here I am with a guy who's about... Well, he's a brown belt then. But to be honest, I've probably been training longer than this guy. But with a lot of gyms, you know, if you train there consistently and you know the people, you're going to advance a lot quicker. So if I had my choice again, because I don't generally pull guard on a guy that's a lot bigger than me and there might be a higher rank, because you're going to end up in a bad position. And he was probably at this point 10 kilos heavier than me, and he was really strong, and he had some technique. So you can see him flat on my back. And I don't think that this roll, I haven't looked at the whole roll for a long time, but it doesn't end up much different than this. So now he's got full mount, which is a bad position, but in a way it's good for me because I'm actually defending myself. You know, I'm learning to survive. So if you looked before when I did a review of my role with my brother-in-law, Gilles, who's a white belt, it's kind of now the position has changed where I'm on the bottom, I'm getting dominated, and this guy here's on top. I think if I had my time again, I think I can actually... Because I roll with this guy a fair bit, but always the same kind of techniques, and I think I made some mistakes. So I've got a hold of his belt. I'm trying to make space because he's making a lot of shoulder pressure there. And he's got me twisted a bit. So I've got a hold of his lat. And I'm holding on to this like quarter guard. He wants that leg. He wants to get to full mount. Now he's trapping my firearm. This is what Gordon Ryan kind of does to people. You know, he takes those at elbows. He makes it very uncomfortable for you. So for an old roll, you got to respect that move. So there I am. Now it's full mount. If you're in a bad fight situation, you never want to let someone get to full mount. But sometimes in a jiu-jitsu roll, if you let them have full mount, it's actually easier to escape from there and bridge and roll than it is from what might be perceived as this is a worse position in the street. So there I'm pushing his knee. I'm trying to retain my guard. But he's bloody strong. Now he's giving me the smug thumbs up to the camera. Once you put a camera on someone, and anyone, myself included, in jiu-jitsu, it changes the way you roll. Your ego comes into play. So now he's going for a lapel choke there, like a collar choke thing. He's got one arm under my neck and one arm on top, and he's trying to get this lapel choke. And there's a lot of pressure there, a lot of pressure. Yeah, now I can feel his weight to my right. He's still attacking, still attacking. And I am still defending. There we go. I'm just trying to wait for my moment because I'm not trying to outmuscle him because I remember he was very strong, this guy. But I do have that leg. I'm trying to retain the guard. He gets the full mount now. He's got me in like a top control. Still fighting, still trapping the leg. Has he got me gift wrapped there? Yeah, he's kind of trying to gift wrap my arm. I'm defending my lapel though. He's gone for the same thing again. This is like a very nasty choke where you grab the collar and just bring the blade of your arm. It's like a pain choke across the throat. I'm still defending. And also note that this guy's probably 30 something and I'm in my 40s. Now get out. Thank you very much. I'll be late to mid to late 40s here. And this guy's 10 years younger than me. So, and he's heavier than me. Now I'm like, okay, payback time, mister. So this is usually where I play my game. And I'm trying to get past those legs. And I feel like if I got him flat, I could give him some sweet love in return. What's he going for there? Now he's going for the footlock to a sweep. And then... now he's trying to pass me again. I'm happy I got up though. He's grabbing the lapels. He's got past me pretty easily there. He's pretty happy with himself. But I don't know if that would happen today. I'd love to roll, like a lot of these people, a few people from that gym, I'd love to roll with again and see how we go today. I've got his arm isolated. I'm trying to bridge and roll on this, on his right arm. But I think I was pretty tired. You can tell I was pretty tired. Okay, once again, pushing the knee. Probably just pushing the thigh a bit too high. I should be doing a Danaher. Yes, pushing right at the knee. Up again. I escape him again. He must be getting tired. And now, this is a long round. Yeah, separating the collar there. The sleeve grip. I think he might be getting tired because now all I've got to do, see, he's still creating elevation, but I'm just trying to settle his torso down so he can't counter me. Once again, he's going to go for the same. So now I'm sitting on my butt a bit and he's using that leg sweep. See, he's elevating my leg and he's trying to get... now he's going for a leg attack. He's pretending to attack the leg so that I worry about the leg, and then this puts my base off, and then he can move to dominant position again. And so I don't think he actually had much of a leg there, but it was enough for me to, you know, give up that position. Now he's on full mount again, so I must be getting tired. I mean, to be fair, he was the most dominant in this. I ended up escaped twice so far, but most of the time I'm trying not to get squashed. Yeah, he's creeping his hand up there. See, and I'm escaping each time the same way. He can't seem to hold me down. Cannot be stopped. But it's a good lesson in self-defense when you're in full mount with a monster on top of you. Keep the elbows in. Now, when people do this to me, I wait for them to wipe their brow. This is where I explode, because it means that they don't know how to solve me, and then they get frustrated and they posture up, and that's when you should explode. But I don't know how much energy I've got. So whenever in this position, you want to fake that you're completely fucked, right? I'm holding his arm just to try and prevent him from advancing. I've got a gable grip there. But usually when someone's posturing up, I do this. I try and explode when they least expect it. Okay, so that's the end of that roll. You saw me with rolling the same white belt twice, and then we hit our brown belts. Don't think my game has... well, it has changed. I think I've got a few more tricks, and I definitely think that that brown belt and I, if we meet again, I do a lot better. All right, thanks for watching. I will catch you soon.